Hello again. We're going to discuss preventive maintenance and your free service and what should be involved on free service on an oilless compressor. Okay. The oilless compressor we've selected to do this on is the AirStar 30, which is a dual head air compressor. Okay. Guys, before we even start to do the maintenance, we're going to do a brief component check, and we're going to protect ourselves in your business by making sure that the compressor runs good first before you touch it, and you can't get blamed with any problems or deficiencies with it. But we're going to do a couple of things at one time. Okay? We're going to check our moisture monitor, and on an Air Techniques, blue signifies dry, litmus paper, blue is dry. We're good. So we don't have any moisture monitor indications to change to tell the doctor. We've got the valve turned off to the operatory, so when we pressurize, all we're pressurizing is the compressor. Okay? Now, we're briefly going to check our safety valve. This safety valve is hissing right off the bat. When I touched it, hear that? You may not be able to hear it on the video, but you guys here in the peanut gallery can hear it.
Yep.
Okay? Hear it? We're going to check it anyway, just for the benefit of the video. Hear it leaking? Okay, it's seated back. The gods were with us. Okay? Now, on the AirStar models, they don't have a tank drain. They have a bleed valve that drains into the tank on the manifold. Now, in doing this, we're going to check the tank, which is one of the PM steps for moisture, and we're also going to exhaust enough air to make the compressor cycle again, so we can ensure that our purge solenoid's working and that we don't have any air leaks, okay? So here we go. This will also check the pressure switch to make sure the pressure switch comes on at the recommended differential, which is 80 to 100 psi. It allows us to check air quality. We're killing about 3 birds with 1 rock here, guys, okay? So we're dropping. We should be coming back on soon, and we came back on at 80. It confirmed our pressure switch is working. Now, we're going to check for unusual noises, vibration. Believe me, the vibration, this is normal vibration for a loop-free head. Don't let that worry you. That's normal. And the noise is normal too. Okay? So we've checked our tank drain, we've checked our moisture monitor. Remember from the lubricated series, that moisture monitor is not going to contaminate unless we have condensate going through. That lets us know that we have no condensation. While we're building up, we'll briefly run our hands along the fittings and make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay? We'll check to see if our desiccant chamber is secured well, because we have a lot of vibration on this machine. This machine will actually shake so much that it will loosen fittings on its own, loosen screws. Now, what we're checking for now is the purge valve, the purge solenoid. Do you hear the gradual hiss, guys? You can also take the extension tube off of it and put your hand in front of it. We're purging now. Notice how I have my hand in the airflow? That's so I can actually I have a little bit of particle matter on my hands. It's certainly not oil because this is lube-free. It's a little bit of condensate. It's doing its job. That's ambient condensation from where it gets warm and cool, warm and cool. At night when they turn off the AC, it gets warm, causes the lines to condensate. And vice versa in the winter. It gets cold in the room, and then it gets warm during the day. So it causes condensation. I am overjoyed that all I had was 1 drop. That's a good thing. Now we're going to reattach. We'll reattach our drain line, our purge line. Now, we also checked during the build-up procedure to make sure that we weren't leaking through the solenoid during the build-up procedure, same as on a lubricated head, okay? Now, we're going to move on and change the oil on this one. This is a lube-free one, guys. There's no oil on this, which is a plus for you because that's less expenditure for you. What we are going to do is not put our hands on this head like this because it is hot as a $2 pistol. I'm calloused and I can take it. But till you guys get a little bit more used to it, just be careful, okay? We have removed our intake filter. We're going to check our intake filter, and it's looking pretty dog-eared and ragged. Anytime where the paper or the element wrap is breaking loose or flaking, it can aspirate into the compressor and cause problems. So, Dr. John, may I see you for a second, sir?
What's the problem?
Hey, Doc, how's it going?
I'm busy. What do you need?
Me too, sir. Okay. You have some indications of, there's not a lot of maintenance on this, sir. Everything looks kosher on this machine. This machine looks good, but your intake filters, which is a basic maintenance part, need to be changed. As you can see, they're falling apart, and it'll aspirate it. It'll aspirate it into the compressor and cause problems later on. Here's a relatively healthy one, but this one's coming apart, so I'd recommend changing this one as well, too, sir.
All right. By all means, change them.
Okay.
And should I have some spares here to change them also?
You know, it wouldn't hurt, sir. If you've got them, if you want to send your lead assistant in, or if you have a moment, I'll be happy to show you how to change them. There's nothing to it.
Why don't you? I'll make some time with you once you show me, and I'll.
Okay, you'll show Lucy.
Also Lucy.
Okay, here we go,
Thanks.
Doctor.
Yep.
You see how they're tapered?
Right.
They'll only fit one way, sir. Now, what you want to do, you see there's an O-ring here. You want to make sure that O-ring seals.
Got it.
Two purposes for these filters, sir. So you don't aspirate in funk and dirt, and it also quietens the machine exponentially.
Okay.
The machine's already loud, but without these, it would be unbearable.
Yeah, that's loud enough. Let's
Okay.
make sure we can change them.
Okay, sir. Sir, the machine looks well maintained. Have you had any problem at chair side or anything? Have you had any deficiencies in air? You think you've got enough airflow?
Yeah, everything's been fine.
Hand pieces cutting well, sir?
Doing fine.
Hygienists doing well with their Profi jet? No problems?
No problems.
No complaints?
No complaints.
I think we can give this one a clean bill of health, sir.
Well, I appreciate it.
Let me run it another cycle.
Okay.
We'll have you back seeing patients here in about 2 shakes of a lamb, all right?
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in. And how long will it take us to get those filters?
About 5 to 7 business days, sir.
All right.
I can't see justifying having them, spending $60 to have them shipped in next day, sir,
Okay.
when you've been running with them like this, but they need to be addressed soon. And as soon as the filters get in, sir, you can change them out or either call me and change them out. And of course, I'm always available if you have any questions.
All right. Well, I
I'm just
appreciate
a
it.
phone call away, sir, okay? Without this air compressor, we're all dead in the
Yep,
water.
I need that thing going top notch, and I think, the more I think about it, maybe I should just let you, just keep this up. And you said you guys have a maintenance contract, right?
Doctor, I will be happy to have the call center call you and give you the stipulations of the maintenance contract, or
All right.
either we can make an informal agreement that I'll come by every 2 months,
All
every
right.
3 months, whatever you choose. I personally feel every 3 months is more than sufficient on an oilless compressor.
All right, well, whatever you feel, keep
And
me
of
running.
course, I'm always at your disposal if it lays down.
Whatever you
we're all
feel to
dead in
keep
the
me
water.
going. I just don't want to have any more problems like I did with the old compressor before we changed it to this one.
All right, sir. You should have plenty of air at chair side now. I'm going to bleed her off and fire it up, and we'll do a little brief cleanup on it, and I'll be out of your way, sir.
All right,
Okay?
well, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Now, guys, we're going to bleed it down, start it back up. While we're doing that, guys, this goes a long way. Wiping this stuff off, believe it or not. You know, when you take your car to get repaired, you don't want it to get back with grease smears on your steering wheel and turkey bars jammed into the upholstery. You want it looking good. Take a little pride in your work. Go to the dollar store, get a stinking dollar roll of paper towels, and wipe the thing down. Carry some Windex with you or anything that you feel comfortable using. One other thing, Joanne. One other thing. Record your serial numbers on your compressor. Record it on your invoice. Okay? Whenever it's possible, on any equipment, try to record your serial numbers on your invoice in your work order, okay? That protects you. Okay? And it also looks professional. Okay, we're going to side that we purged again. We're going to cut the air back onto the dock, so the dock is going to be cooking. Okay? So we're going to take the time and the patience to watch it build up. We're almost there, guys, okay? Just feel for some more leaks. Everything feels good. Okay, we built up to 100 and we're bleeding off. Now you hear the purge gradually dissipate, gradually get weaker and weaker and weaker, which is exactly what you want. Now, slowly, we can open our gate valve, repressurize the operatories. One caveat, guys, it really looks good after you pressurize the operatories. Clean the oil off yourself. Make sure you're not slimy. Go into the operatory and say, excuse me just a second, if there's not a patient in there, do you have a free operatory? I want to check the chair side airflow just to make sure. It goes a long way, guys. Show your concern for the practice, and he'll show his concern for you. Okay? That concludes the lube-free maintenance. Thank you very much for your attendance.